Okay. Now let's talk about Chicago Sky and Teresa Weatherspoon. But before we get started, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to the Gertie Mac Show, taking y'all time to subscribe to my channel, liking and sharing all the videos. I really appreciate all that. Now let's go. So Chicago Sky, last game of the WNBA season to try to keep their hopes alive for the playoffs, they ended up getting blowed out like a birthday candle by Connecticut Sun, 87-54. But that doesn't mean that the team didn't have potential to be great. And that doesn't mean that the coach was bad. Because Teresa Weatherspoon, let's be honest people, she had passion and she loved those players and she was a great person. It's just things did not work out and line up for her first season as she expected. She had a great relationship with Angelreese. You can tell, not just Angelreese, but all the players, but you can tell that her and Angelreese, for their first time, playing and coach together, that it was an amazing relationship that was building for more to come. But unfortunately, Chicago Sky has decided to abruptly fire and let go of their head coach, Teresa Weatherspoon. And players for the Chicago Sky are heartbroken and basically confused on what is coming from, because a report that was put out by Chicago Tribune, Julia Pope, said this, that throughout the first season of their rebuild, basically the Chicago Sky front office was preaching about patience, having patience, because you got Teresa Weatherspoon, first coach, first year, whole basically new team. You got Angelreese coming in, Camila Cardozo coming in. So they was preaching patience. But like she said in this report, but the team went against their own advice and decided to fire Coach Teresa Weatherspoon in just less than a year. They just hired her in October of 2023. And here it is, October didn't even get a chance to make it yet. And Teresa Weatherspoon is out of a job. Now, I don't feel like she should have been fired. Yes, the season ended bad. The last couple of games, they was getting blowed out. But then Angelreese went out with her injury to her wrist. But they came back and they won that game with a blowout victory. But then they came back and missed the playoffs. Now, this is the first time they have missed the playoffs since 2018. But then, they also had recently, I think, won a title a couple of years ago. I don't necessarily know what Chicago Sky front office was expecting to happen in the first year of a team just getting together. They didn't even get a chance to gel like Jello. But they just messed up for Teresa Weatherspoon because, all the passion and all the post-game interviews and the talks that she was showing to the players and having with the players, you can tell that she wanted to be there. But here's the reason why I say Teresa Weatherspoon basically, kind of responded to being fired from Chicago Sky. Because when these things happen, front office and the coach have meetings and basically come to agreement to go their separate ways. And sometimes this happened days before, not just the day of the announcement. Because 4 days ago, Teresa Weatherspoon went to her IG that she doesn't post a lot on, and she said this: "Blessed through it all. I know who holds my hand and knows my name." Now, the song that she posted with this post that she made with a picture was at Tasha Cobb, and the name of the song is "You Know My Name." But you also see the hashtag that she has, "Looking Forward Always." Now, this is 4 days before Chicago Sky officially made the announcement that they're letting her go. This right here tells me that Teresa Weatherspoon knows that she was getting fired, because I don't see Teresa Weatherspoon posting this message right here on IG if she didn't know anything about her job security with Chicago Sky. She didn't just come out and say it, but this right here tells me that she knew, especially the hashtag saying looking forward always. Because knowing that you're not going to have a job and a couple of days later people going to know you're being fired, you have no choice but to look forward to what's in front of you, your future. Hopefully she can, you know, bounce back and get another job with another WNBA team, get another opportunity, or, you know, assistant coach or whatever, you know, because she didn't really get a fair chance in her first year. And I don't know what they expected to happen. Fans are really upset. People really did love Teresa Weatherspoon. Now, it's already stuff circulating going on saying that Cheryl Swoops wants to be the coach. I don't know if it's because of Coach Angelreese or Kennedy Carter or whatever it is, but I don't think Chicago Sky will let go of Teresa Weatherspoon to bring in Cheryl Swoops. Cheryl Swoops is a great player, no doubt about it. But there's been too much going on with Cheryl Swoops for them to bring that in. I don't think they want that right now. Now, you feel bad for this team. Chicago Sky, angelreese, Kennedy Carter. I mean, what's going to happen with the team? You know, you got Camila Cardoza. The next coach they bring in has to be someone that these players going to really want to play for. Reason why? Because you just let go of someone that they had an attachment to, and now you just snatch that person away. And these players are upset and heartbroken. If you bring in someone that they can grow to love and like in place of Teresa Weatherspoon, then y'all are asking for trouble. Now, Teresa Weatherspoon, her post-game interviews was always interesting because you just never know what you was going to get. She had the same passion whether they won or they lost. That's one thing I liked about her. But let's listen to the last thing she had to say in their last game, and basically this is her last post-game interview as a WNBA head coach. And even during this loss, she was getting ready and gearing up to prepare for the next season, 2025. Y'all check this out.
Spoon, this obviously wraps the season, but also your first season in the WNBA as a coach. What's your biggest takeaway?
You know, it's tough to see my players like that. It's hurtful. To see them speak about things that they've had to go through outside of the game of basketball, how it took a toll on their mental. These are the things that I knew. And I think a lot of times people don't recognize what these players go through just to play the game, how hard it is to come in every day, practice hard every day, go and play in front of thousands and thousands of people. And then reading those things that they had to read about themselves, and me too. It doesn't bother me. So I'm trying to be as helpful as I could to them in those areas of life, because it could take a toll on young people. But what I love about this group, and I said it to them, is they had a no give up spirit. They would never give up. They always gave everything they had. Every ounce of energy they had, they gave. They left everything out there. And if you can leave everything out there, you can walk away knowing that I left everything. All my juice is out there. All my energy was out there. All my effort was out there. You can live with that. And as a coach, to watch them play as hard as they did, you know, there's no excuses. We don't make excuses because we didn't have our full team. We knew we still had to play. And it was hard. It was difficult to sustain the energy down the stretch. But what they did to represent that uniform the way that they're supposed to, representation of themselves and who they are, and then representing that uniform, I couldn't ask for anything more.
When you think about those, what you guys had to overcome, the injuries, I guess how different do you really think this team would have been? You know, even going back to like Elizabeth's injury, how much of a difference do you really think that all would have made? Because this team was still very young, still very inexperienced. So I'm just curious what you genuinely think.
Yeah, but when you talk about going all the way back and having E-Will with us, along with Cardoza, along with Angel, along with Kennedy and Diamond, and they all being healthy, you're talking about a team with an incredible production from your bench as well. You have an incredible bench production as well, but you're talking about losing all of that, and what all of that brings to our team. You lost a lot. We lost a lot with all of them being out, and without a doubt in my mind, we would have definitely been in the playoffs, not fighting for an 8th seed. We wouldn't have been fighting for an 8th seed. We would have definitely been up in numbers with the group that we had. Unfortunately, in this game, you know, injuries happen, and just unfortunately happened to us down the stretch of in a stretch that was so crucial.
DJ Harden, Chicago State of Mind. Lindsay Allen has been an underrated player for you this season. So I just wanted to ask, like, what did you like most about her game this season? I've
said this 1,000 times. She's a great leader. She came out and she led our troops. She knows how to steer the ship. You know, she took on a lot of scoring for us as well. With people being out, she decided she's going to inject herself, but yet making sure that she did her job first as a point guard, and that's to facilitate. And she injected herself. She did a heck of a job of doing that. But then she's a pest defensively. You know, so many things that you do as a point guard, everything is initiated through you, whether that's the beginning of the offense or the beginning of the defense. And she did a heck of a job all season long for us.
And follow up, we talked about the injuries, and it's been a long season. You guys have had hard. So I just want to ask, like, what was your message to the team heading into the offseason?
I think I'll leave that in the locker room.
Coach, obviously injuries are out of your control, and you take the team out there that you have. There seemed to be a critical window after the Olympic break where the team goes, I think, 1 for 9 in that start. And I'm curious, from your point of view, what had changed? What were teams doing to you? What were you sort of like failing to execute in that particular?
That's just it. We just didn't execute. We weren't the healthiest team coming back in the second half. Had a few players that were not very well at all out there playing, giving everything that they had. But we made no excuses. They made no excuses. They stepped on the floor and they tried to play anyway, tried to give everything that they had. And unfortunately, this is what has happened down the stretch. You know, it's an unfortunate thing because this is what I do know is if we were a healthy basketball team, that we will definitely be a playoff team, without a doubt in my mind.
What do you think is, I know the season just ended, there's not been a ton of time for reflection, but just immediately when thinking about next season, what do you see as being the biggest need that needs to be addressed this offseason?
Well, I just want to take my time with that before even answering that, because you know, the way you feel after losing and knowing that you're out for the season, you want to make sure that everything you say is the correct thing to say and say it in the right way. So I'll take my time with thinking about that, along with our general manager and the organization, and we'll just go from there. I just don't want to make sure that I say the right things. There's a lot of thoughts going through my mind because I worry about our young players and what they're thinking and how they're feeling. But a piece of the message in the locker room was that I love them. I love them. I love everything about them and what they bring on a daily basis to help me to grow and to give them an idea of where your growth truly comes from. Your growth doesn't always come from the good. It doesn't always come from the wins. Your growth comes from being uncomfortable, your discomfort. You'll find a lot of growth there. And I know I have. I know I've found a lot of growth with myself as a coach. And I know that they have too. So we'll continue to grow and take the feeling that we have right now and not want to feel it again.
So that was Teresa Weatherspoon last post-game WAM interview for Chicago Sky. Like I say, this is a real messed up situation that they have decided to part ways with her just after one season, one opportunity, one chance of trying to coach a team that's basically brand new, being put together. And what did y'all expect? I understand you didn't make the WNBA playoffs, but Look at all the obstacles and look at how the season ended. All the players, star players, were basically on the bench watching the game, eating popcorn. And you expect the coach to go out there and make it happen. I understand everyone is a professional player, so the next person should be able to step up. But y'all know it don't work like that. But like I said, I hope that she gets an opportunity to coach again and kind of show what she has, because 1 year isn't enough. But y'all get in the comments, tell what y'all think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share the video. Also hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I drop another video. Follow my social media at GaryMac15. Holla.